Hmm. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Sorry. Um, I was absolutely certain that I set up everything earlier, but turns out I didn't. Um, yeah, sorry about that. Not my intention at all. Let me just quickly check the audio here for a moment. All right. I mean, maybe it works. Should work. Sounds like it works. At least, you can understand what I'm saying. So, anyway, I hope you had a very nice day thus far. Enjoyable, or whatever it may have been. All the good stuff. Anyway, I'm here to finish this. What I started yesterday. I kind of thought about the background, but I think I'll do something else with that because I'm not too sure if I'm capable enough. So, hmm. Though I don't know yet what I'll do instead, because I mean, I'm sure I could. Sorry, just do this kind of thing. Just make it all black. But not only is it lagging a lot, it's kind of. Despite it being below everything else, why is it? Hmm. Interesting. Maybe because both are just pure black. Possibly. Possibly. So that shouldn't happen here again. It's funny how the hair color immediately changes. Though I'm still kind of in the mood to um, do some dramatic lighting. Lighting? Yes, light. You know? Some interesting cast shadows and such and whatever else, right? It's insane how much my PC is starting to lag just from painting a little bit. And this is like a bog standard A3 format. It's not like this is something crazy. 8K or something. Or 12K. Not at all. Hmm. But couldn't I try this? So, like, if I want to figure out some interesting light situation, yes, couldn't I already start doing that with background? Because it just, I don't know. It would seem that could be possible, no? Hmm. I don't know about this, huh? Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, it could certainly work for like a preliminary, I don't know, assessment of where the light would go, because this isn't the light actually. This is just the background that I'm trying to color differently. But since the difference in value is that stark, kind of looks like I'm changing colors here. Or I'm trying to put in like light and shadows, you know? But I'm not really doing that. At least not intentionally, you know? Hmm. Oh, wait. I'd have to actually lay this on top now. Hmm. Interesting. Oh, this is kind of looking like a forest in the background now. Although more so like a, like, what do you call these specific forests for like Christmas trees and stuff? Not necessarily for the trade of Christmas trees, but they're the same type of tree, you know? Not the specific species of tree either. Like the overarching um descriptor, like group essentially. Like, is it needle trees? I don't know, because that would be the direct translation from German, you know. So I don't know, like pines and what's the other word? Pine, firs, like FER, right? Fir trees, pine trees, that kind of stuff. But I'd have to go the other way around. So what I've done now is laying in the blackest, darkest type of shadows in the back, but I have to reverse that essentially. Hmm. I wonder why this is working in such a way. Hmm. I mean, I guess I know, since this is, after all, the background, you know? So, hmm. Let's see how well we can make this work. Actually make sure the crown of the trees or whatever, canopy, I don't know. The very top is also dark. Okay, this is too much, I think. Maybe I should just minimize the opacity here. Does that even work for the eraser? Actually, it might not. Because eventually I would have just erased it, yes? I think, no? I don't know. Actually, now that I'm saying it, I'm not too sure if that would have actually been the case, you know? Hmm. 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 I don't know. Should I leave it like this for now? It's so different from this, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. I'll keep it for now, but I don't know. Not too certain about it. Oh well, we'll see. So, let me try and give this some. Oh, this is the wrong layer. Hey, stop it. Stop it. It's again doing the whole, edge of tablet bug. I don't know why this is happening. So if I can, I kind of want to put in like a shimmering effect in here. Although this might be too bright. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know if this is going to help me, but since I haven't, developed a process for finishing any art piece, because I simply haven't finished any art piece yet, I think whatever I come up with to keep me from just dropping it, for now it's going to be good enough. We'll see if it stays that way. Likely not. But instead of, trying to make decisions about things I haven't tried, you know, like especially in the context of optimizing the approach to a thing you haven't tried, it's kind of like self-defeating, I think. Because ultimately you'll just end up thinking a bunch of things and you won't be doing anything. Because, well, maybe you'll realize you don't actually know anything. What will you do? Will you learn? Where do you learn something that you've never done before? And you might pay a bunch of money for, like, mentorships and such, instead of just trying the thing, Or maybe you will just copy the worst possible method instead of just doing it your own way, like including all the mistakes, you know what I mean? You'll try to copy someone who's way better than you, and then you just sit there and do that 5 billion times. Well, not realizing that you just end up getting better at copying this specific artist, So instead, I would like to tell you to just start. Whatever it may be that you are hung up on, whatever it may be that you think you aren't good enough to even attempt, just do it. Seriously. Unless, of course, there's some bureaucracy in your way, I see no reason why you shouldn't try. And if there is some bureaucracy in the way, I don't know. I'm not too well versed in that, so I couldn't give you any advice really on this specific thing. Okay, let me actually put on my drawing glove here, because I forgot doing that. I also don't have any water, only like the 3-day-old one of standing around. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder how I'll end up finishing this. Okay, so now I would like to try and go in here and all right, so we take some of this. Hmm. Not certain. Like I kind of want to put the groove in there that usually is here, but I think the color I chose is too dark. Like the value difference is too much, like compared to the sheen of the sword, you know? So I might have to rethink this. Let me see. This is the sheen of the sword. Let's go with this. Actually, let me enlarge this. Hmm. Maybe I'm working too much on the detail already. Probably. That's usually my go-to problem, you know. Hmm. I don't know too much about this. Is this? Hmm. No, it kind of looks like a different blade now. Yeah, it kind of looks like there's a split in the middle instead of a groove, you know? Hmm. Hmm. I don't know, huh? Like these grooves in here, right? Hmm. I mean, there wouldn't be that much difference since they aren't that much darker, you know? So, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe the groove is just too large. Hmm. 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 I don't know. I think I have to do some blending here, no? Kinda looks like a sword, but I wouldn't bet on it, you know? Hmm. All right, let me just sit down a bit here. Turn on the light. Okay. I don't know about this, huh? I don't know about it. Obviously, there's this weird, like, outer edge here that's darker than the sheen, which kind of doesn't make any sense. I don't know, huh? Hmm. How to do this? How to approach it? Maybe I should zoom in and get a different brush, but for now, I'll leave this because I don't know how to deal with it. I kind of want to try my hand at like some armor here. But again, like the background is not really suitable for that, so we'll just take it into a bit of a more cartoonish style. You know, we'll see. Okay, so hmm. We'll see. Let's see if we can't put in a piece of armor in here. Yeah. Hmm. This is again the weird point on my tablet that's just not working. Not properly being recognized. Funny. Funny how that works. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. Really never drawn. I should have like separated the arms onto a different layer, I think. Hmm. Never really did that. Hi. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. This is like horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Hmm. I don't know. Maybe something easier would work best in this regard. Possibly. Probably. Okay. Would appear I can't go further back. Oh no, I can. I just looked away right when the shoulder guard disappeared, like the semi-shoulder guard. How do I do this? How do I approach this? Hmm. Hmm. I mean, they aren't much different from just a regular human body, the armors, you know? Because obviously the point is to support the body. Hmm. Hmm. What was I talking about? Like, I feel like I'm passing out in between what I'm saying. What the hell is happening? What? I'm like, I'm like confused. Okay. You know what? Instead of talking about this for the next 15 minutes, let me just get up, walk around a bit, and get me some water because I forgot to bring it anyway. I'll be right back with you. Sorry, guys. Give me a moment. Okay, I have returned. Excuse the delay. I got me some water. And I kind of thought about how to do this. And I think a background is too much. And this isn't really helpful either. At least not in this specific way. So, let me try and go in and erase. Oh, wait, this is which layer? What layer are you? Okay, I have to go here. Right, let me just double check. Okay. Yes, okay. I'm just gonna try and do it like this guy that I've watched a speed paint of, because it's pretty much a kind of process I want to adopt. I'm not too sure. At least the end product was very nice. So if that methodology does truly produce that, then I kind of want it. So we'll try it out. Let me just stop here. Stop here again. Hmm. All right. Haven't even drawn in the legs yet. All right. Okay. So let me take a larger. Oh, whoops. A larger brush here. Is this even the color? I don't think it is. No, it wasn't. Okay. There we go. 100% strength. Otherwise, this is just going to take way too long for no reason. Though I don't quite remember what exactly this guy did. I just feel like that he essentially encapsulated the entire pose. And then he drew, how should I say this? Immediately started drawing in light and shadow, So the figure was looking something like this, right? Guidelines and such. Then he would just go in and, I don't know, shrink down the brush or something and then just start laying in, some of the shade where it would be, whatever. So I don't know if I can replicate that specifically. I don't know. I mean, I could just leave it like this for now. Man, if it wasn't that easy. If it wasn't that difficult, sorry. If it wasn't that difficult, I guess everyone could do it. That's interesting. So I'd have to start like in negative, right? I'd have to paint in white, basically, no? If I'm understanding this correctly. I didn't. How to do this? How to do this? Let me just drink something. How do you proceed from this? How shall I proceed? Let's leave the background alone, actually. And hmm. 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 Okay. Not sure what I'm trying to achieve with this, but yes. Hmm. How do you draw armor onto something? Like, this is insanity. I'm like fleeing from that. I just want to do. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. How do you draw any armor? Obviously not like this, because this is too dark. And it doesn't really have the form I want to give it. This is like, you can tell this is drawn by a retard, you know? This was drawn by someone who's actually stupid in the head. How to do this? How to do this? Okay, let's just use these templates here, or this reference, for what it is intended. Okay, I think there's something wrong with the pose, though. Like, is it the neck? I kind of think so. I kind of feel like this part here is a bit too far over on that side. Maybe something like this, and maybe slightly larger. I think so, maybe. I don't know. Kind of looks okay-ish. Hmm. Carving into the forms. Oh, okay. Now the hair doesn't work anymore. Of course. I forgot. Let me just move that. Also, we can do some erasing on here. Question is if the shoulder isn't too large, because I think it is. I mean, if it is immediately the armor, it might work still. This is difficult. Or maybe I'm just telling myself it's difficult and therefore. So actually, maybe it's not that difficult. I had a lot of fun starting this yesterday, you know. So why wouldn't I be able to have more fun today? So whatever. Okay, this can't be turned. It would appear. Whoops. Huh? Fuck, what's that? They're like breathing too much air or something? That kind of sounded weird. The hell? That was unexpected. What the fuck? Anyway. how to proceed. Like actually, I just want to see the armor in there, but I have no clue how to render armor. So in turn, I have no clue how to continue from this, you know? Oh, actually, I should probably change the color in this. Is there like a way to change the color? Split alpha filter mask. Like, isn't there a similar color picker that can essentially do exactly that? No, not really. Interesting though. Oh, everything almost immediately disappears here. What is this? Wasn't this also some sort of filling tool? Enclose and fill. Okay. That's kind of... the hell? That's super weird. Alright. Well. Yeah, I should have chosen the base color here actually. But I don't know how to use Critter, you know, properly. So, yeah. Oh. Can't I now invert the selection? Select. Invert selection. Then I use this. I go like this. Oh, since this is like a literal fill tool and not the brush, it's gonna be a bit weird. I feel like, you know. Don't know if this is useful or not. Is this useful? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of looking a bit weird. More than anything, you know? This is too bright red, no? This is like tomato, tomato head. Goddamn tomato head. Man. How do I proceed from here? Like, personally, I don't think the black is like how should I say this? In a sense, base color to like just laying in the shadows and painting on top doesn't actually look too bad, but I don't know. I'll leave it for now. Let me just press undo 15 billion times until I can't. Oh. Looks like I'm done. Oh, man. Oh, that sucks. Anyway. Yeah, I guess I should just erase this now. And since I still have the thing going here. I think for the shadow base to actually work here, actually keep in mind where the light would shine least and such, you know? To make it actually work, I feel. I feel like, you know? Not too certain about it. But it's not like I can do a whole lot about it either. Man, let me just, please, thank you. Maybe in general I'm just doing too much, huh? Trying too much, thinking too much, instead of just doing. Do it. Do it. Horrible. Horrible, horrible. Oh well. Man, I wish I could say I've achieved more, but I've been hopping from one topic to the other, and I just can't say I've been doing anything at all. Like, sure, this kind of looks like a sword now, but only very vaguely. It's not a very good looking sword either. Horrible, all of it. All of it horrible. All of it horrible. Horrible, all of it. Le baguette. Man. Horrible, all of it. Hmm. I don't know if these are actually helping me. I don't think they are. Let's just try whatever. Let's try to take a gray. I could work on here. Okay. Actually, let me make this a bit larger here. Hmm. Hmm. Ouch, 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 ouch. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. Is that Yoshi? Is that Yoshi or someone else? Hmm. I don't know. I don't remember. Not the greatest Pokemon fan. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. If it just was. If it just was easy. Why not easy? Man. Was it this gray? Yes. Hmm. Ow. Hmm. I don't know, huh? Hmm. The gray is not like covering enough, you know? It's difficult for me to keep the shade or like the value of a color here, especially the gray. It's difficult to maintain like a specific value while also not having too much background bleed through. Like this pencil or brush setting is kind of, hmm, I don't know. I don't know if it's working properly as I want it to. I kind of feel like it isn't. Kind of feel like it is not. Let me just drink something here. Okay. Hmm. I don't know how to go about this, honestly. Although this looks more like a bluish tint, no? This is more like white, gray. Ouch. hands are hurting. Fuck. Oh well, whatever. Maybe I should just deal with the fact that I have to be very heavy-handed on these colors given the brush I'm using, and then just go back in with eraser and or highlight. You know, maybe I'm expecting too much in a specific case, I think. Maybe. We will see. We'll see. So maybe instead of just trying to immediately carve into the form, maybe I should just put down the base color that I'm gonna use. Maybe do some major forms, you know, like something like this maybe. You know, try and make sure where the form would extrude we are actually with our colors, you know. So maybe extrude, I think it's the wrong word. Anyway. Maybe that helps, I don't know. Let me wrap around the form actually. Since it's a cylinder, you know. Let's do these kinds of brush strokes. I don't think. I don't think you would see a whole lot of this, no? Let me see your arms, specifically your elbows, and your brachioradialis. It does get thick, obviously, but it's more easily a cone shape. Because usually I would do this, right? Like this kind of like diamond shape. So I go out to describe the brachioradialis here on the inside of the arm. And then do something like this maybe. But since we have some armor, it's more simply just like this. Because that's easier to make, I would assume. At least that's what I am gathering here. Not sure if that's too true. I would imagine there's some more like custom-made armor that follows the form of that specific human more closely, but yeah. We'll just have to make do with what we have here. Hmm. 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 I don't know. Maybe this would have to be smaller too. I wish I knew I was, and I wish I knew what I was doing here. So like, I would have at least had something to lean on, sort of experience, but I have no idea if what I'm doing is making this look a lot worse or somewhat better. I don't know, man. Although shaping it this to the background of the armor is kind of stupid anyway. I might have just wasted unnecessary time by trying to focus too much on this outline of the arm. I think I did, you know. I'll just take this as the base color. Paint everything in that even roughly, remotely has any piece of armor on. You know. And then see. What, how, when we achieve something here. The leg is starting to hurt again. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe, and that makes sense. I don't know, man. Hmm. Hmm. Does this make sense? Whoops. Not really, no. Like, I still haven't addressed the issue that I don't know how to shape. I don't know how to shape this. How make? How? Why problem make when you know problem have you don't want to make? Why problem have, you know? Why problem have when you know problem? Why problem make when you know problem have you don't want to make? Why problem have made when problem nomad have done? Yes. Anyway. Let's get rid of this stuff here. Hmm. Hmm. I don't have a whole lot to say right now. Because I'm genuinely trying to figure this out. How to proceed. Okay, so we can immediately tell this gen here is off. Although I have to say today it's kind of making me tired to sit here. Should I have just continued? I don't know. Uh, I haven't really done the week in review now that I think about it. I just skipped it entirely. Ah, okay, you know what? It's a bit late. Usually I do this in the beginning of the stream, but yeah, well, yeah, there we go. All right, so this is terrible, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe I should have like used the um shapes fill brush, the green one. All right. Anyway, let's have a look at my horrible, horrible drawings from the past few days here. Past 7 days. Terrible, terrible, terrible drawings. Anyway, I should have just drawn with my pencil. Like this guy, you know? This looks. Although this is not a round brush, I don't think. Maybe it is actually. Very nice. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Very good art. Beautiful. Right. Okay. So I think the most important part here is what we tried to discuss. This is kind of looking funny. What brush did I use to make this? I think it was just the what's it called? The water marker, no, the alcoholic marker. This thing here. Copic marker super brush. Copic marker. Copic marker. Then we talked a bunch about truly beginner level stuff. Though I'd have to. This only really makes sense in the context of what I was talking about, and I don't quite remember it. I should probably make like a video out of it. See if I can make that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Possibly. Overlap, size, contour lines, vanishing points. And we were just talking about how to start out. Like what to actually focus on. And I was trying to make the case that you don't have to train your accuracy. You don't, oftentimes you don't even have to draw proper straight lines, if the underlying principles work, that make the image appear three-dimensional, like overlap, for example, size differences in objects that are further or closer, like further away or closer to you, contour lines that give an idea of where the form is traveling, vanishing points in case of foreshortening to better convey the angle of a camera. Like, for example, with this fist here in the middle, this would look very weird and kind of wrong, actually, if I didn't add some sort of pseudo vanishing point somewhere off back here, you know? What else? Yes, bending lines in depending on travel directions and such and so on. Hmm. Don't even quite remember what I was talking about, all the things. I have to revisit the VOD and see. No, I don't want to save it, thank you. Then, of course, we tried this thing here, which was basically traced. Like the, outline of everything was traced. So, I don't know. I still like the colors I picked. Like, I will never not like them. It was quite difficult working with the brush, like the shape fill tool. This one here. Kind of difficult. Because it's, actually weird. As you can see. You know? It's kind of, yeah. Kind of, yeah. Hmm. What else did I do? Some warm-ups. I don't think I did any corrections on any other past pieces. I can't really, it's this warm-up. I don't know. It looks so weird, so poorly made and bad and dog shit. Disinterested, almost. Sometimes I really hate my own art. I really hate it. I don't think we did do that much more. Still trying to figure out how to continue on with this. Is it useful to put in the colors like so? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. Hmm. How would you even go about putting in the shapes here? Like unironically. Hmm. It might be a bit too gray too. Too much of a dark color. But the more brighter one I used for the background, so. If it only were easier, How do you paint? Like, how do you actually paint a portrait, right? So you lay in the darker colors first, right? You start with the background and you build up your image, your picture, your art piece, on your canvas, right? In a sense, that's the kind of methodical approach that I want to use. This layering technique, in a sense, But this, I don't have the brushes for it, so these colors don't really mix. They overlap in a weird way, but I don't think they mix properly. Maybe they do, and I have just not realized it yet. I'm yapping too much. I should do more drawing, more painting, more everything. Hmm. I don't know why I'm so tired today. Maybe it's the food. I made some very poor rice. Terrible, terrible rice. It's been quite a while, you know, quite a while that I've made rice that poorly, which happens, I guess, because I don't have a cooker. I just do it in a pot, which has its own benefits and drawbacks, I would say. One of the drawbacks, you can absolutely fuck it up, you know, making of rice. Okay, let me see. How do we proceed? I should probably not make this too closely follow her, say, body or hip outline and such, because we are trying to make this armor, right? Or at least I think I am trying to do that. Okay, no. I don't know. I'm stalling, I think. So let me just try and get it over with. So this is my color right now. Why is it in just red? Anyway, gonna want it more in like a bluish tone here. Maybe something like here. Let me see if I can make any of this work. This might be too bright, actually. But yes, this could technically work, no? If I play my cards right, I would say. This might work. But I have no guidelines, so it's kind of defeating the purpose of having done all of that, because I could have just done this from the start. Now that I've changed it so often and saved over it, you know, I can't go back either. Though I do have some backups, but I don't know, huh? Hmm. Yeah, this is definitely way too dark. Why did I pick such a dark color? Because anything less dark is like immediately the background color, I feel like. I hate I hate this so much. I hate it so much. There's no explanation about any of the tools that should be working in a very simple manner. Then don't, and you just have to know why. Sometimes I could just oh, I just want the fill tool that just works. Please, like, is it that difficult to code this? Set standard parameters that it works? No, apparently it is very difficult. It is impossible. Like, this tool can't do it. Every other tool apparently can. Fucking hell, GIMP can do it. Photoshop can do it. Clip Studio can do it. Why can't Critter? Why is it not working? Why? Tell someone. Someone tell me. I'm tilting. I'm tilting right now. Like, look at this dark shit. Like, what is this? How is this a fill tool? Terrible, terrible, terrible. Foreground color pattern. What is this? Continuous region. This kind of works now. It's brighter. Is it useful though? I don't think so. Ah, man. Okay, I made it work. I just had to change the fill mode apparently, because there's different options. Fill the active selection or the entire canvas. What was the other one I used? Fill a contiguous region. Contiguous. What do you mean by that? How is that different from picking or filling a color that's similar to mine, the one that I used earlier to draw this dark shit silhouette? Hmm. I'm like dying inside. Hmm. 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 Why is this so difficult? Why can't you be easier? Hmm. Why? Why? Dun, 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 dun. Hmm. 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 Okay. I can't draw anymore. This is retarded. I can't. Like whatever I do, I just my mind is like no, 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 no. It's just not working. The head is way too small too. I think no, like this is too much. This is too close. Hmm. Maybe I'm just wrong about it though. I don't know. Hmm. This is horrible. Unironically horrible. This is like my personal hell right now. This is terrible. Hmm. Okay. You know what? Since apparently I can't do it anyway, let's just start like this maybe. Hmm. Hmm. I feel like everything is out of proportion, you know? Like I feel like this entire top is way too high up. Obviously this is then incorrect as well. Legs are a bit too thick. Hmm. Also, this is too far down. How about more something like this, maybe? Like, actually, this is difficult. This is difficult. Like, we have the hands here, right? Because this is like going like so, right? And I wish I hadn't done this. Fuck. Okay, let me just check. This is throwing me off. Let me just check with my backups here. Projects, art, drawings, critter, training. I think it's under dailies, yes. Okay. Do you mind if we change this to details, please? And I would like ordered by date. What? Okay, this is right. Okay, so this was from yesterday, so let me just copy this, copy it, and go to my dedicated backups. Let's just go. Come on, there we go. All right, it's terrible. No, I don't want to save it. Thank you. This is so horrible. This is so horrible. Lord Almighty. Okay, this is from yesterday. So I will rename this. Right. Actually, let me add. Or rename this. Yes, I want to change it. Thank you. Okay. How do we do this? Like actually. In a manner that makes sense. I'm so tired. What the hell is happening? Let me drink some more. Can't believe everything I did up until this point was completely worthless. Fuck. Today is not a good day. Today is not a good day, apparently. Maybe it's because it's too hot in here. Huh? Let me open the window. I really want to push through, you know? And I really want to challenge myself to do things I don't do usually. But, like, come on. Whoever is responsible for this dog shit output, you have to throw me a bone or something, you know? I need something. I need something. Proportions are off. Volume is weird. Maybe it's because I'm trying this in a different way with a new brush, you know? Maybe that is the issue. Or maybe it's because I haven't actually gone the extra mile here and tried properly constructing this stuff, you know? Right. I'll be right back. How do we go? You know what? Instead of like having no plan, let me just look at how some other people do it. Hmm. Okay. Let me see. Let me look at some. Oh, I didn't know there was an herb stream today. Damn. Herb. Herb. Herb stream. Let's see. Let me look at some speed paints here. See if I can find anything useful. Speed paint. There was something else I watched earlier. Oh, it was something like illustration demo. April 3rd? No, that's too far behind. I mean, I could look at how Neg does it. Like, there's this Japanese artist, and he's called like Neg Illustration on YouTube. He does some very amazing art, like actually insane. And occasionally he does some demos and tips. So let me see. Like, I understand it in like a theoretical manner. You start by putting in the sketch, figuring out the pose, doing the background, depending on how you work. You start with the background, put in the character, that sort of stuff. That's where you start thinking about all sorts of things. Like composition and, perspective, all that stuff. All the fun stuff. Okay, but how do you actually like proceed? Say you have a rough sketch, or maybe a not so rough sketch, whatever. How does he continue? Okay, so he immediately moves on to. Okay. Okay. He immediately moves on to like putting in the light, or figuring out the light sources in a rough way. Just to understand it, put some light on the characters here. Then he refines that. It's like a sketch for the light itself, where the light goes. Damn. In his case, like, this is. Damn. Okay. Okay, this is like the meme, It's like the meme. Pick up pencil, make a line. Like step 1, pick up pencil. Step 2, make a straight line. Step 3, do the rest. Fucking hell. Okay. Okay. I mean, what does he do with his lines, though? They stay for quite a while. Oh, okay. So he has the foresight to actually use a color for his lines that he can then continue to use even when he's starting to render stuff. So, okay. This is not quite as detailed as what he would do. I think that's an issue. I think I think, big man, that's an issue. So let's get rid of the sword here for now, as best as I can. Remove this arm. Maybe I should just redo the sketch, huh? Whoops. He's kind of like using... not a bright red. This is too little, actually. Too little color. And actually, I have to... So the way he does it is he goes in, sketches his character, right? Though a lot more skillfully than I do, for obvious reasons, you know. Actually, he does... And he's like, you know, he's good enough and trained enough to immediately start putting in the clothing, you know, with his sketches. So the drawing I looked at, the speed paint, essentially was like of a maid, you know. So he would roughly do this kind of stuff, you know. And then maybe some very rough things down here. I don't know. Obviously, this is off center. Not what I want to draw anyway. But like, I mean... If I were to just... Ouch, leg hurt. Ow. Ow. Okay, that's interesting. Hmm. Hmm. This is tilting me so much. Oh. I don't know why, guys. I'm kind of agitated today. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's the rice. Maybe I'm still tilted about how I fucked up the rice. If the rice isn't good, the day's ruined. Not really, but like, sometimes these minor things. Or maybe it's the realization that I'm a lot worse at this, than I would like to think. Hmm. Man. Fuck. Down, down. Oh well. Hmm. No, it's too much. Hmm. Okay. What does this look like? Oh, okay. This is for riding, yes? It's like a cavalry armor, no? Because this is way too much distance to be foot armor, like foot soldiers armor, like you know, man at arms on foot. You don't need that if that would be were to be the case, no? Kind of looks like it can bend upwards. Hmm. So I might keep that away. Could do a cloth of some sort. Maybe I'm simply just not confident enough. And the issue isn't so much that I don't have the know how or skill, but that I'm doubting myself too much, you know? Or just take some freedom here and not stick too close to any like real armor designs. Terrible. Hmm. 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 The arms would be pretty close to the body, yes? Since that's just how the human body works in this specific case. Hmm. I don't know what this is supposed to represent. Hmm. Ah, right. I forgot. This isn't the same layer as before. Hmm. 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 So I think we would see the side of the head here, yes? Maybe. I don't know. Possibly. Because we see the ear, you know. Maybe this all is the side of the head. You know? It kind of makes sense. So let me just try and get rid of all of this. Although this head is obviously not correctly aligned with the neck. So more like so. Gamut warnings turned on. What? Turned off. Okay. I don't know what that is, but alright. Fat fingering. Some hotkeys again. I mean, honestly, the neck would be more like where the ear is, you know? So it would be more like here and here. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. Hoo. Terrible. Alright. Let's try again. Horrible. But I at least kind of know what I'm doing. You know? Whoops. Still. The arms aren't very readable here. Neither is the chest piece. Where are the arms? Where's this layer? Okay. Hmm. It should be going more like so, no? I think that's what's irking me about this, is the missing contra, like, posta thing. Right? Because now at least we have something going on here. Ah, my construction is all over the place and nowhere near where I want it. You know? Hmm. How do you draw armor? It's like, man, I never drawn any armor at all. Or much clothing, to be honest, you know? I haven't done anything of the important stuff. Hmm. Yeah, no. I haven't done any of the important stuff. Hmm. Terrible. What am I doing? Oh man, I just want to lie down and just die. How is this even allowed? How? I'm in shambles. My entire art career destroyed before it even began. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Hmm. Hmm. Like, what even is this supposed to be, right? No one really knows. Hmm. 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 Like some sort of like pants. Hmm. Oh, we ignore the pants. We put something entirely different here. But what is the question? Like we still have the legs going on here. And I'm really starting to dislike everything about this image, honestly. Hmm. 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 Maybe I should just start to use more layers, move up further, you know, not try to resolve everything on the single layer. Maybe I just need more layers because I'm not that trained yet, you know? Not that good. I don't know. Hmm. What? Come on. What is happening? Control Shift A, thank you. Alright. Alright. I don't need this, I don't need that. Actually. Given how much I've been erasing. Come on, at some point I'll have to be able to do it, no? But this is not the pose I want, you know? hmm. 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 Man. This is like completely destroying my confidence right now. Like it's absolutely masquerading me. No, I do not want to save. Can I go back in and have the old sketch? Yes, okay. Like, I really like how this started out. I really hated what it became. And I'm not entirely sure I can make it work. Don't think I can. Okay, so he does the sketching like so. Let me look at the other guy I watched a few days back. I think actually it might have been yesterday, just before stream. Although I don't quite remember. Me no remember. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that, actually. I might just be wrong about it. Wrong? Was it not yesterday? Looks like it wasn't. Yeah, okay, apparently it was not. There it is. Illustration making. Let me have a look at this. Like, this is obviously the painterly approach. So, this might not help me at all because I'm just not good at painting. The fact that the video doesn't start playing either, you know, might be an issue as well. So I can't even have a second look at this because apparently, oh, there it was for a second. Please mute the tab because I don't need to hear anything at this point in time. Okay, this looks even more difficult. Yeah, this kind of looks even more difficult than what I was trying to do. Like, if I try to copy this method, I don't think I will make it. Oh, will I be able to make it? I don't know. It doesn't have any props in there, but yeah. Damn, that's fucking hell. Okay, would I reach my goal here if I tried replicating this style? Like, just this style of approach, not necessarily the art style itself. So essentially what he does is he throws in dark values around his subject so that he basically draws the outline through negative space, you know? So instead of, say, as I do it, right, putting lines onto the canvas to paint, or to draw rather, he's making everything else not a solid color, but pretty solid. And through leaving gaps intentionally, you know, he's basically putting in the outline of the subject, right? Then he goes in and with the same dark color, he adds the shadows on the form itself, on the subject, you know. And so he paints. That might be similar to this, though not really. No, actually, no. It's not actually. But how does he do the hair here? This is so insane. Like, actually. Damn. How do I proceed? Oh how, oh how. Hmm. Hmm. Anyway. Damn. Hmm. At least getting like a decent head shape is helpful. Maybe. I don't know. At this point, might as well just, you know, start learning from scratch. Like this. I can't even finish a single piece. This is insanity. Man, I'm trying. I'm trying, genuinely. The struggle is real. This is almost, I don't know, almost laughable how little I'm capable of here. I'm sure that's some comedy special from God or something. You know? Hmm. Like, I mean, I enjoy, trying this texture brush here, but like, it's not gonna help me solve the bigger issue, which is me not being able to finish an art piece right this moment. Terrible, terrible. Oh, Lord. The pain. The pain I feel. Horrible. Maybe I should just relax and take my time. Maybe that's also part of what I should be realizing. Like, I kind of want to finish this like in one go. Oh, I should have been like all the way, like I'm right here, right? This is the start line. I'm right here, and I want to be all the way over here. That kind of deal. I'm just too impatient. I should just, worry less. I think worry a bit less. Doesn't mean that your worries aren't warranted. You know that they aren't true. But is complaining about them gonna help? Not really. Is trying to rush through the painting gonna help? Nope, not that either. So then, might as well just not bother mentioning it. Hmm. Actually, this ahoge should be my bad. Connecting somewhere here. What to do? Oh, what to do, guys? Hmm. Maybe I should do away with trying to paint armor when I've never painted armor. You know? Like recognizing your own capabilities might also be part of this learning exercise here. I'm not gonna give up on this. I really wanna finish this. It's probably gonna take me a few weeks, if I'm being honest. Like if this is the progress every day, hmm, it's definitely gonna take me a few weeks. You know, if I stick to it, that is. Otherwise, of course, it will never be finished and take infinite amounts of weeks. Hmm. I can put out the idea, fairly quickly. If I think about it, if I try to remember what I did yesterday. But what comes afterwards is like basically impossible for me. I don't know why. Lord. I mean, I could do some cheating, right? Since I believe. Let me check. Yeah, it's basically covering the legs. I don't have to draw the legs. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, so, how do I continue? Oh, how do I continue? Hmm, obviously, the shoulder isn't right here. Like, I shouldn't try to paint over the sketch I did, Not yet, at least. Like, I actually need to use the sketch more. Interesting. It's a bit more difficult to do the contour lines, essentially. Hmm. Hmm. Let me see how some people would paint armor. Sam does art. All right. Paint an armor. I just want like a general guide. Okay, it's literally putting it in all through the sketch and then painting in this case. Okay, let's make sure this is actually muted. Yes, it is. All right, let's see if I can get the transcript here. Hmm. 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 So it's basically talking about the principles of lighting and how it's most easily visualized through drawing a bunch of like spheres. Hmm. Trying to talk about, how to consider where light falls on a sphere, which I suppose I should be doing too, but I mean that's the kind of basics training I should be doing, really. Hmm. Let's see what Keenan has to say, actually. Hmm. 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 Okay, articulation. Hmm. 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 Okay, so it's like talking about the specific structures of the armor. Hmm. All right, let's just whatever. I should have more of a. You know what? I'll just use this. Whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares. Exactly. So we go in. Okay, so she has nothing on her arms and shoulders but vambraces. So those would go here. You know, are they shaped something like? Something like that. Since the other embraces would be here. So nothing on the shoulder. Actually, let's figure out. This would be. Can I please turn this? Thank you. I don't know if this is useful. I don't really know how to draw breasts, you know? So, from one area of, like, how to say this, inexpertise to another. This is too much. Okay, the shoulder's also a bit too much. In fact, I would kind of like to move the entire thing a bit more over to her right. You know? Hmm. Hmm. Terrible. Terrible. Hmm. Hmm. Ah, come on. There we go. Actually, maybe I'll just Hmm. How do I... Anyway. Let's get away with that shit. Let me see. Maybe this might already be enough. Hmm. What even is this? Is this the other shoulder? It looks kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. It's fine if this isn't too close here and whatever. You wouldn't really see the vambrace or like the vambraces on the other hand, because that one is pretty, you know, straightforward, looking directly at the camera. So it's kind of like hidden behind the other arm, the right arm, you know, is hidden behind the left one. Hmm. I wish I had, you know, used different layers here. Now that I'm looking at this, however, I do have to say I'm not too happy about it. Hmm. 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 Maybe something like this, or more like so. And further up. Hmm. Maybe it would be a bit more straight, you know, because she is wearing armor after all, you know. So I don't know how much we could be doing here. Okay. This isn't looking too bad, I don't think. Hmm. 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 I don't know. This is so weird. The tiltiness is like it's dog shit. Frankly, it's just dog shit. Why is it so weird? Hmm. 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 I don't know, huh? How do I continue from this point onwards? Like, I feel like I get stuck this, like, regardless of what I do here. How many hours have I been trying to just move on more into the direction of like rendering? Okay. Well, at least one thing is clear, and I'm going to write that one down. After fixing my chair a bit here, is that I have no idea how to render. Like, none at all. I don't know how to move on from a sketch. Like, I don't know what to do. I just I just lose it. And I get agitated. I don't know, it's weird. So, let me get a pen here, or a pencil rather. Alright. I want to figure out how to move on from a sketch to a full illustration. And I understand that the advice usually is, well, try it and look at what other people are doing. I don't even know how many times I've tried. Not just here, not just with these streams here. I just don't know how to move on, like at all. Do I throw in the light? Do I need a base color? How do I even then color in? I mean, I could just try it, I mean, it doesn't hurt. Since I have the fill tool anyway, right? Let's just take a fill tool. Just take this one. Pick a... a bit more red. Not terrible. Didn't just go in and color shit. Like, unironically, like, I'm not trying to do this poorly or like whatever else. Like, this is supposed to be a genuine question, Do I just start coloring stuff in? Probably. I mean, the base sketch isn't that great anyway, so coloring it in right now is likely not gonna help me anyway, since the base sketch is terrible dog shit, as you can tell right now. Like, and what is with this arm? Like, where even is the elbow? Is it here? Is it here? It's like so much trash. And I guess this is what I could be doing, yes? Should have, I don't know, should I make some plans for this type of stuff? I just want to draw. Why is it so difficult? Come on. I don't want to draw, man. It's kind of looking like some sort of Amazonian body type or whatever. You know? Now that I'm thinking about it. Damn. Like, damn. Ouch. Would this help? Moving on like this? I don't know. Control Shift S. So I want to change this to something else. Okay, week 7 modified. Alright, though I have to stop here for now. I'll probably start earlier tomorrow, this time hopefully without forgetting to actually set up everything, so we can start earlier. Not just theoretically, but practically as well. This is gonna take a while, isn't it? Anyway, thanks for sticking around. I hope you learned something. I don't know if I did. At least now I know what to focus on. Like, I really don't know how to do a render here. And that's not helpful. You know, when you're trying to make any finished art piece. If you don't know how to render, it's like, well, so anyway, right? Like, yeah, I want to make an illustration. Finish a sketch. Oh, well, anyway, next sketch. It's essentially the thing here. Yeah? Oh well. It will get better. I just have to try hard enough. And consider the correct things, which I'll figure out through trying the wrong things, I suppose. Anyway, take care of yourselves. And yeah, I don't have much else. Maybe check out Liz's stream if she's still online or something. Taking breaks, very important. Anyway, have a nice rest of your day, and I'll probably see you next time. Likely. Perhaps. Perchance. Maybe not. We'll see then. Bye.